welcome to my October 28th video update. We returned from our trip to Rome and a cruise back home about a week ago last Wednesday, and in several of my recent videos, which were posted while I was gone, having used that scheduling feature in YouTube, I talked about getting ready for this trip that we were actually already on. And so today I want to talk a little bit about what I actually used of all that I took. As it turns out, what I used, I could have gotten away with probably the Cooper Slim, which is a great bag. So in the future, that probably will be what I'll use. So I'm glad that I did take what I took, because I didn't really use even all of that. Because of a pickpocketing incident early in the time in Rome, we spent a great deal more time just in our neighborhood, close to the Vatican, close to the Airbnb apartment that we had rented for the 6 days that we were in Rome. By the way, if you need a recommendation for an apartment in Rome, the link is in the description below, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Vincenzo, this young man who owns this apartment, was an excellent host, and his parents own a restaurant not too far away, and so it was one of the neighborhood restaurants we frequented several times. Let me know, because it's a good deal. And so because we really kind of stayed in the neighborhood, this was really, the pictures that I took were mainly street shots. I did take some of the sights, but the street shots could be in any city in the world. But that's really, it turns out, it's really the kind of photography that I enjoy. I did take a lot of short video clips with my iPhone, and for the most part I just handheld it like this, so I didn't really use any of the rigs that I had. Occasionally I did when I really needed to be sure that it wasn't going to fall over the balcony or fall into the ocean when we were on the ship. What I want to do today is look at what I did use and see what I could just leave home the next time. Now, if I'm going someplace where where taking pictures or making videos really is part of the purpose of the trip, then I'm going to take more things, even more than I took this time probably. Although I could have gotten by with all that I took to do those sorts of things. It did teach me that the whole thing was very instructive in some ways. It did show me that the 35 to 100 Panasonic lens and f4 lens that I have in combo with the Olympus 12 to 40 are the only lenses that I need. I could get by with these two lenses, I think, on almost any trip. And I took the little 9mm body clamp lens. I never used it. Better to take that than the 7.5 lens that I was thinking of taking. The one thing that really didn't pan out was my Smooth Q. The one time I didn't use it in Rome at all. I didn't want to carry it around, actually, because Rome was very crowded. Even in the end of September, it was very crowded. And when I did pull it out on the ship, and we went on an excursion into one of the ports, the battery was dead. So I'm wondering if somehow the button gets pushed and it's running inside the case, and so we were on a bus, and it would have been a good use for it. But I think I would take it again, because it's a valuable asset if you are going to do some video with a smartphone. Back to my reasoning. If I'm going on a trip that's mainly vacation, and the vacation is really more important than the images or videos I might take, then this kind of packing is going to be fine. So what did I use? As I said, I used my EM5 Mark II with its two lenses, and I did use both lenses. They came in handy. I used my smartphone, obviously. I did use one of the holders for it. The handle pod I used several times, but mainly to hold my iPad. I didn't have this rig with me, so I could take this and this holder for the iPad, the spring holder, and put it on the handle pod, and I could use that when we were on the ship if I wanted to watch videos or if I was reading something and I didn't want to hold the iPad itself. The other thing I always had hooked up was my WD My Passport Pro Wi-Fi drive. So I plugged it into the apartment when we got there, and I plugged it into the cabin in our ship when we boarded the ship. And it kept running. And so anytime I did take pictures with my iPhone, I could offload the pictures to the hard drive, and I knew I had them, and I could free up space in the iPhone. Whole idea. And then the same thing with my SD card. I think I may have offloaded some pictures from the SD card, but I wasn't taking that many, and I had a 16 gigabyte SD card in the camera, I believe. So I didn't really need to offload any images from the card to free up space. And I did use my iPad mini to edit some videos and put together some short videos. While we were in Rome, we did have Wi-Fi, so I could upload those to family. I shared those with the family, not publicly. And that was handy to have. But mostly I kept the video clips that I did do with the iPhone on the hard drive so I could work on them when I get home. So this experience was a good experience for me. It showed me that I could work with less gear, and that's always important. And that's what many people always tell me. But it's still something I go through every time I go on a trip. Now I just need to remember these things the next time I go on a trip, which is was one of the good reasons for making a video like this, because I can go back and watch my own videos to help me remember. So that's pretty much it. As I said, this VanQuest bag works out tremendously because it does expand so nicely. This little bag here, which is my mobile video storytelling kit with microphones and lights, some stands, and a bunch of things that you've seen in other videos, I never really even opened except to get some cables out. So that probably could have stayed home, and that's a fair amount of weight in that one bag. But the other things worked out pretty well, and I believe that next vacation trip like this that we go on, the Cooper Slim's going with me. And it's an attractive looking bag, and it's very it accommodates the tools that I probably would need in most situations. So I should have listened to my heart back before we left. So thank you very much for checking in on this video update, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And have a good weekend. Goodbye.